to share with you what you all are doing with our 29 Bridges pop-up. And then I'm going to tell you about my new sweater. Hi, I'm Cadence Kidwell. I'm proprietress here at Fuzzy Goat in downtown Thomasville, Georgia. You all are having a great time with our 29 Bridges pop-up, and we've been putting together projects for you, lots of them, and we just have the yarn for a limited time, and so we want to share with you what's been really popular, what you guys have been putting together, in case we can put some together for you all. And so that's what's great about a pop-up, is we have more colors and more choices than we usually do. You'll see that this is a little skimpier than it was last time I showed you, because we are sending them to you all. But it was just really great to see what you all are putting together. So let's start with Melissa's DK Promenade blouse. So let's see. Make sure you guys can see this. This is really cute. You've seen it on Melissa. This is DK and Surrey. And we have lots of those, and Melissa, lots of combinations, and Melissa has put together some for us to look at. So it's really cute. You change the needle size when you get to the Surrey in there. And so let's look at what Melissa's put together for us. She has put together, this one here is Moraine DK, and this one is Finch. This Finch is really pretty. So just think about how pretty that would be in this here. Thank you, Marcia, for that compliment on my sweater. Let's see what else we got in here. We have this one. This is Sentimental and Take a Hike. That would be really great. So these DKs have 231 yards. Hey, Kara. Hi, Karen. And the Surrey Silk has 328. So you knit with the DK needle, and then you do change your size, needle size, for the Surrey Silk, and it just makes a really great striped, lightweight sweater. Got those two combinations. Oh, look at this one. This one's really fun. Here. Hey. Oh, great, Rachel. I'm so glad you love your new bag. This is Front Row, and I'll tell you what Madeline's doing with Front Row, because last time I told you we weren't sure what she was going to do. And this is Dream. That would be really vibrant. That would be really pretty. This is not my color, but I do love this. So one of you guys make this, and I can look at it on you. Okay, this is my color here. Patina. I do like patina, and you could put that with Partly Sunny for a more cohesive view, or you could have, and so the stripes would be more about the texture, or you could do that also with Take a Hike in there. So this is our 29 Bridges. Mary just makes the most beautiful yarns. She does name them after bridges and locations in Pittsburgh, her hometown, but she's from Maryland, so we consider her a Southerner, so we really like to highlight Southern yarns as much as possible, because people have the mistaken impression that we don't knit in the South, which is just ridiculous. We have air conditioning down here. This is Scotch Moss. This is really pretty. I'm going to be using this in the DK for something. I mean, in the Surrey Silk. And this is Callie, and those two together would make something really rich. So this is just a fun pattern. This is Promenade blouse, and the pattern link is at both the Surrey Silk yarn and the DK yarn, so that you can see that. So that's one project in mind that you guys have been having us put together for you, and that we have the sample here. Hey, Harriet. Hi, Tiffany. The sock, we have been doing a lot of, move this to the side first. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I do that, this is also a 2 skein DK that Mary sent us, the dyer behind 29 Bridges. This is River, and so if you've got 2 skeins of a DK, like Anne was getting the other day, you could do something like this. This would be really pretty here. This is Patina and Harbor. Would be 2 skeins of a DK, so that would go super fast in this as well. And we've got the link up on the DK yarns. Other fingering. So I was moving to the fingering. So speaking of DK, 2 skeins. We've been sending out a lot of yarns, 2 skeins of fingering for the drifter. We love Tammy Gore's pattern. We like to highlight BIPOC pattern designers as much as possible, and Tammy is a really talented pattern writer, black designer. She has a 2 skein and she has a 3 skein. So both of these have been popular in sending them out to you all. Let's see, just kind of toss that over there out of the way. So let's put together some 2 skeins. Up here, let's see what we've got here. This is our fingering that we've got. Hope I don't give you whiplash. We can always choose some other yarns, of course, from our fingering cabinet over there to go with it. I don't mind switching brands. I hope you don't either. I think of it as like a play date with my yarns. They get together, make something different together. So you want to do a 2 skein drifter. This would be really rich, berry, and plan ahead. And yesterday I was helping Sally with this, and we did Who Do You, Shiloh, and Inia. Actually, I don't think it was Sally. Oh, I can't remember right now. It's going to come to me. I'm going to feel really bad about it. We did help Sally, I think, with a different pattern, promenade blouse. But this would be a really great 3 skein drifter here. Or Tamdo is also a great pattern that we love for 3 skeins. All right, let's see. Oh, maybe this is really pretty too. I love this Flaming June. Obviously, I love an orange. And this is Taroko. And those 2 together. But maybe I'm just getting a little too wild. And if you wanted something more classic, you could do a really pretty blue and white, or a gray. A gray and white would be really pretty too. The blue is Tahoe, the gray is Hot Metal, and the white isn't really a white, it's a linen. It looks like linen. So those have been very popular, the drifters. So we love that, and both of our samples were knit by Susan. Very grateful. Some of you have been buying 1 skein of this beautiful, fabulous, fun yarn, like this one here, Plan Ahead or Dream, which has just really got a lot going on in it. And you have been making soul searching, and that's S-O-L-E searching, because that was the line in the song. And they also look like footprints. Hold it a certain way. So this is my 1 skein pattern for a fingering yarn, so that if you had a solid one, or if you really wanted something fun and you weren't sure what to do with it, this makes a great pattern for that. And that was from last fall's Good Vibes yarn tour. And you have also been giving me lots of love with my first pattern, which was Stay High, and you can see the little palm trees in there. And this one, I think the little palm trees would get lost in something like Plan Ahead, but would look really cool. I think you could get away with it with cider, because that has about the same speckles as our Knitwise in here, or Sprout. But it would also be really pretty in any of these solids. The Front Row or Hot Metal would look really great and Stay High too. And this is a 1 skein pattern as well. Then, you guys, we had this in our, customers last weekend saw this hanging in the shop. I had forgotten all about this. I knit this with Knitwise. And so we put these together. Mavis would like to see patterns would be good that are not shawls. I don't wear them. So here's a scarf. So we have scarves. What I'm going to show you today are scarves, shawls, and sweaters, Mavis. So, there are some hat patterns linked in there as well. So here is a scarf. This is brioche. So you want to be adventurous if you like brioche. This is Leslie Ann Robinson's Coffee at the Grand. And actually, Leslie's pattern is wider. What I love about brioche is it's reversible. And I narrowed it because I knew I would wear it more as a scarf than I would as a longer wrap. But it is super fun and it calls for 3 skeins, so any of those 3 skein bundles. But I did this by using 2 skeins that are the same color, a sock, and a surrey, and then added a 3rd color, which was the white in this one. So we could do something like this. We've sold a lot of our blue surrey, but you could do this. You could do a similar view. It would just be a little whiter than my blue. Mine reads more blue. So you could do those together. That's a lot of fun. Or you could just use 3 different fingerings or 3 different colors. And I personally love brioche. Super fun. This was a really great pattern. Leslie writes wonderful ones. And then the green tassels and the little bit of green in here is not in the pattern, but I threw that in because I loved this color. I was using it in my cherries. I'm looking at it over there, my cherries. I call it my Mother of the Bride scarf. And I wasn't through with that color, so I threw it in here. So use up those little bits that you have. So this is another great pattern for the surrey silk or any 3 skein fingering. Let's see what else I want to tell you about. Another thing you could do with the DK. Here I can also kind of show you how I'm coming along with my drawing sweater. Is I'm now into the body here. So though Mary didn't necessarily send us sweater quantities of the DK, we have enough if you wanted to do color work, do a color work DK. So there's enough, you need 2 for here and maybe 2 or 3 for the body, depending on what size you need. So now my challenge, all projects have a challenge. My original challenge was getting through this color work because it was really different for me to do it that way with the backward jacquard method in there. But now my challenge is this part is so boring compared to this. There's nothing to keep me going. So I had some appointments this week, and this is now my appointment knitting, or I got to set deadlines or goals for myself so I can keep making progress on that. But that's a little bit in time out because I'm knitting some lightweight sweaters now that I can wear sooner because it's going to start getting hot here. And what Madeline is making. So Madeline decided to do the chevron cloud, and she is doing that with her skeins of front row, and she added the front row fingering. So she's going to do this wrap, and she might do it narrower. And this is from my friends at Espace Tricot, chevron cloud. Isn't that fun? And so you could do that with, there's lots of examples of cohesive, same color, monochrome, but there's also some examples of some beautiful variations where somebody used the fingering in this and then the wispy part in an ivory. I know, Sherry, it is really already hot here, but we're ignoring that because it's good. August is the worst. Or you could do it, what am I trying to say here? You could do this one and mix it up and do the opposite where here you can see a little more solid there, where you've got the fingering yarn and then you've got the fuzzy in there. So lots of possibilities with that. We're happy to text you photos and keep you going on that. And then I'll take a moment to tell you, celebrate my new sweater. This is the Harvest Oversized Sweater. This is done in worsted. I used a size 8 needle. The pattern is a lot of fun. You actually do it in pieces and then you have to seam it. Not you all's favorite, not necessarily my favorite, but it took me one evening to do it, and it does provide some structure, which I think it needs with all this lace work. So the seam kind of gives it, a little scaffolding. Thank you, Nancy, for your compliment. And then the sleeves also are done in pieces, and you just put it all together. And I love working with this yarn. It is, let's see if I can show it to you. It's called 16 Worsted. It is by Unique Yarns, Earth Yarns. That also makes the unique thing. And you could see how many plies it has in there. It has a ton. So personally, I didn't use my super sharpest needle because that's easy to dive into those plies like that. But we have all these different colors, and it's called 16 because of the micron count. That is a really great micron count for super softness, and it does indeed feels like cashmere, but it doesn't feel woolly like cashmere. Like Sherry and I were saying here, it is hot, but this is not too hot. It feels really great on the skin. It feels like cotton on the skin. And so, yes, the yellow would be really great. And then the eyelets in there help. And Sherry, I'll look for some combos to see about like Melissa's here in just a moment. But if you didn't want to use the 16 worsted, I'm not sure why you wouldn't. But we do have some other options that I brought over for you. I think you want to use one that has a nice twist in it so that it does show up the stitch definition. I'm looking at our worsted cabinet. We have some other ones over there. But I think some of the stitches might get lost in there. But this Malintosh worsted vintage would be great. So that's another yellow. This is a pretty solid color, but it does have a little bit of variation in it. Not enough to make you feel like you've got to alternate the skeins. I can't tell where. The great thing about piecing is I just stopped at the end of the row, and I didn't have to worry about where I stopped when I ran and needed a new ball because it's all hidden in the seam. So Tosh Vintage in this candlewick color would be beautiful. And I also think this Manos Alegria Grande in Sorrento would be pretty. This is just enough variation that your pattern would still show up. Yeah. And yes, Sarah at Not Another Hat would love that yellow. Yes, she is a big fan of candlewick, as am I. All right, let me get to Sherry's request. And if I have missed other requests, we can help you out in a text. Let's see, we might have to go in the opposite direction. I'm looking here at our worsted. We do have some blues in the, I'm sorry, looking at the DK. We do have some blues in the DK, but not another burgundy. We do have this one, which is a little wilder than Melissa's. It would be really pretty in that, where's that basket, Melissa, maybe? Oh, here we go. In the Take a Hike would be really similar to that. Let's see. We will keep looking for you, Sherry, and see. Oh, I'm going to dive over here and come back. There's this color here. Not with. I would put it with that, but if I wanted to do something similar to what Melissa had, those two. No, I'm not really catching the same thing. I'm gonna keep looking for you. You guys don't all have to watch me do that, Sherry. We will keep looking, and Melissa will be here shortly, and we'll get working on that too. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your comments on my sweater. I'm really enjoying it, and we'll have the links up for you. Have a great Saturday.